I told my parents I won't change my name because of their regret. I legally changed my name to Atlas when I turned 18. My birth certificate had Michael William Reynolds Jr. on it, named after my father who walked out when I was 2. For 16 years, I hated being called Junior or Little Mike. Every time someone said my name, it felt like dragging around the shadow of a man who decided we weren't worth keeping. School always started the same. Michael Reynolds, the teacher would call. I go by MJ, I'd answer, trying to create distance. Mom worked 2 jobs after he left. She'd help with homework despite being exhausted and never complained. Not even when grandparents would say, he looks more like his father every day, as if that was a compliment. When I was 15, Mom started dating David. He was nothing like my father, quiet, reliable, with a dry sense of humor. An English professor who wore sweater vests and collected maps. His first visit, he brought me a journal instead of forcing some guy bonding activity. David never tried to replace my dad. He just showed up. He came to baseball games with his grading work, occasionally looking up to cheer. He helped with college applications and never made me feel like a burden. Once I heard him tell Mom, he's not my son, but I couldn't be prouder if he was. Before senior year, I researched name changes. Nothing felt right until I remembered a book David gave me about Greek mythology. Atlas, the titan who held up the heavens. That resonated. When I told them my plan, Mom was supportive but confused. Why Atlas? She asked. Because Atlas carried the world on his shoulders. That's how I felt, carrying Dad's name when he couldn't carry his responsibilities. At least Atlas never put down his burden and walked away. David nodded. Names have power. They tell a story. Exactly. I want to tell my own. After my birthday, I filed the paperwork. 6 weeks later, I became Atlas Reynolds. My first college letter addressed to my new name is still pinned to my board. Everything was fine until last week when my biological father called. Mom handed me the phone with a strange look. Junior? How's my little Michael Jr.? My stomach dropped. That person doesn't exist anymore. What? My name is Atlas now. He laughed like it was a joke. That's not your name. You're Michael William Reynolds Jr. Named you myself. Right before you left, I added. I legally changed it. He said he was changed. Sorry. Wanted to reconnect. He'd moved back to town with his new family but wanted to make things right with his first son. He kept repeating my old name like he could force it back onto me. Yesterday, I found his car in our driveway. Mom and David sat stiffly in the living room with my biological father on our couch like he belonged there. They ambushed me with dinner. Mom kept giving apologetic glances. David was quiet. My father dominated with stories about his new life, kids, and business. At dessert, he addressed the elephant in the room. So you've changed your name to Atlas? Like the map book? Like the Titan, I corrected. Well, he chuckled. Time to reconsider. You're starting college soon. Reynolds men have carried the Michael name for generations. 3, Mom said quietly. 3 generations. He waved her off. You're erasing your heritage, acting impulsively. I understand you were angry. Were? I repeated. But changing your name is extreme and hurtful. David cleared his throat. Atlas has given this a lot of thought. My father's eyes flashed. With all due respect, this isn't about you. I stood up and looked him straight in the eyes. Those eyes people said I inherited. You erased yourself from my life when I was 2. I won't change back to a name that reminds me of your regret. I'm Atlas now, carrying my own world, not yours. He argued I was being dramatic, that family names matter, that I'd regret this. I shook my head. The only thing I regret is taking 18 years to realize I could put down a burden I never asked to carry. Later, David joined me outside with hot chocolate. For what it's worth, he said, Atlas suits you. And somehow, I felt lighter than ever before.